I'm putting it out there just in case, and I promise you this, if I'm there, I'll go back and I'll pull this video. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. Well, the last week of June is over. We are right around the corner of the month of July. And then again, by the time you guys see this, it'll be well into July by then since I am behind. But for all intents and purposes, June is just now ending. So let's jump into it. I got some exciting things I want to talk about, including my visit with the doc, share some of my blood work results with you and all. Well, there's no treadmill tracking to discuss again because for another week I didn't get up on that treadmill. I do have my foot doctor next week, so I'm hoping for some good news from him and that I can get back up on there. So we'll see how that goes. But for this past week, I didn't do it. I did go out and do some walks. Went to Costco a couple different times. Even if I just had to go to the pharmacy, I kind of took the long way around to get there. You know, just trying to get a little movement in, even if it was at a much slower pace. So as I mentioned, I went to see my doctor, my primary care doctor, the one that did prescribe Mounjaro for me all those months ago. What are we at? Almost 22 months ago now. We had a good talk, honestly. Matter of fact, she said she might be looking in on some of these videos. So Doc, if you're watching, good to see you. We talked about a lot of things. First and foremost, she was quite excited. I knew she would be very excited to see how much weight I'd lost. We talked about not only it and how I thanked her once again, because without her, as I've said on here many times, who knows where I would be, if I would even be, who knows, if it wasn't for her. So I'm very thankful for that first appointment we had and for every one of them since. We talked about me spreading out my shots as well as the calories and protein and all that good stuff that I try to hit each day. She's good for it, absolutely good for it. Did want me to up my potassium just a little bit, so we're going to do that here probably next week or the week after. I'm actually playing around with my own electrolyte mix. I've got a little tester one here that I mixed up today that would actually have 450 milligrams of potassium in it, as well as some other good things. It's pretty good actually. This one I flavored with a little bit of the water enhancer from Walmart, and that's what I like about my mix versus buying others, is I can add whatever flavoring I want to it. So I'm really excited about that. If you're interested in me doing a video showing you how I put together my mix for my electrolytes that I use, comment down below, let me know, and I could do a video on that and get that out soon as well. Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I've actually got a mix that works for me now, not one that's pre-made by some other company for what they think is good for me. It's what I know is good for me, what I need. So that's pretty exciting, and it tastes good. So speaking of those things, let's talk about my blood work from the doc. So as always, I got to have my phone with me so I can see what I'm talking about. It showed my glucose range at 80, and that seems to be really good, right in the middle of that green range, as you can see there. So I'm not complaining about that at all. So this screen cap here shows my sodium at 138, which is towards the lower end of that range, which I'm perfectly happy with. It shows my potassium at 3, which is lower than it should be. So I'm a little surprised on that, but again, that's why I'm starting to mix my own electrolytes to where I can get a little more of that and up my potassium amount every day. My chlorides seem a little low. Honestly, not quite sure what that's about. I'm gonna have to look into that. I just now actually paid attention to that. It's usually not one that I look at, but I'm gonna look into it a little bit further and see what I can do to make that a little bit better as well. And my CO2 range seemed to be a little bit high. I'm going to take a look at that. It is still in the green range, so I shouldn't be too worried, but it's always good to have more information than not enough, so I am going to check that out too. This next one always gets me because I do eat primarily a vegan meal, right? I guess you could say mostly vegan, but pescatarian as well, because I will have eggs from time to time, regular cheese occasionally, and I do like some seafood. I can't even tell you the last time I had seafood, but you know, shrimp, fish from time to time. not that often. I'll eat a lot of what they call fake meats, right? I mean, it's high in protein, it's great for you, so I'll eat that. I just don't eat, like red meats, turkeys, chicken, stuff like that. I don't do it. I haven't done it for a long time. I'm not trying to make a statement on anything. I just stopped back in 2012 for my own health, and it seems to be working great for me, so that's why I do it. So a lot of things that I do cook are vegan or leaning towards the vegan side, and they are high in protein and really good. So that's why I was excited when I saw that my protein level came in at 7.5, and it's on that higher end of that green range, so I'm perfectly happy with that. So let's take a look at my cholesterol. It came in at 146, which is up a little bit. They say anything under 200 is good. I've heard from a lot of doctors that'll tell you anything under 150, especially in America, anything under 150 is amazing. So I'm still under that 150 mark. I'm used to being lower than that. As we could see on this screen cap here, in August of 2022, just before I started Mounjaro, my cholesterol was down at 134. Totally not worried about that at all, because it's still under that 150, and I'm fairly certain it has a lot to do with the cheese and the eggs that I've been eating. So yeah, we'll just keep going with it, and we'll see what it's at next time, and if I have to make an adjustment, I'll do it then. Again, I am not type 2 diabetic. It is one of the few things that I don't have to worry about. But my A1C came in at 5.0. But as you can see from this slide, just a few days before I started Mounjaro, when I got my blood work done at the docs, it showed me at 5.5. I am still at 5.0. So it's still down in that 22-month period by a half a percentage point. So I'm fine with that. One of the things the doc and I talked about was she wants me to start some light weight training. So we talked about doing some work with dumbbells, with a kettlebell, stuff like that. Nothing too intense at this point. We talked about different curls and presses and stuff like that she wants me to do. I'm very excited that we finally got to the point where we're talking about doing those. When I first started this journey with her, we talked about how it's going to be a while before I get, the okay to do some of these things. It was just a few months ago that I was given the okay to start doing some walking for exercise, and now I can start doing some light weight training, so I'm very excited about that. So I have ordered some dumbbells from Bowflex. Actually, I got them on Amazon, a little bit cheaper, but I'm really looking forward to getting those and then getting this whole thing started. So I'm looking to start those probably the middle of July, if not maybe a little bit sooner than that. Once I get them, I can get that going, get it figured out, get it put into a daily routine. And but yeah, very, very excited about this next step. And one of the things she wanted to remind me about is that when I start doing this lightweight training, that my weight might slow down or just completely stagnate out for a while. So she stressed the importance of taking measurements. Now, that's one thing that I really wished I had done all along, was taking measurements. However, I did happen to take some on June 1st. I did just my chest and my waist. And as of June 29th, wow, look at this. I was down 2 full inches this month on my waist and 1.5 inches on my chest. That's amazing. I wish I had been measuring these all along so I could see just how far I've come. The only way I've really taken stock of it is looking at clothes, seeing clothes, how they fit. Like, let me show you this picture here. This is me in my Seahawk jersey. I got this jersey about a week before I saw the doc that original time back in August of 2022. I've only worn it to one game. It was a preseason game down in Dallas, and even then I almost didn't wear it because it was a little too tight, especially right through here on me. And I don't know, but I figured, I'm never going to see these people down here again, so if they want to make fun of me, let them, I suppose. So I wore it to the game, and now it's a dress. Yeah. I've had people tell me I should get it altered and get it pulled in and all that, blah, blah, blah. It's going to cost me more than the jersey cost me. And I'm not going to do it because to me, this is also a great reminder to remember right where I was when I started this journey. And trying that on and seeing that just made me excited, brought me to tears, honestly, which isn't a big shock. Anybody that's followed this channel knows I'm a bit of a crier when I get excited. So yeah, I was in tears, but I'm very, very thankful for how far I've been able to come. I've got a long ways to go, but just looking back to see how far I've come is stupendous. I don't know how else to put it. I'm just thankful. All right, so let's jump into this week's numbers. As we can see, for the past week, I averaged 1,250 calories a day. That's not too bad. Again, I target 1,300 as a minimum. So I'm all right with that. So looking at the rest of my numbers, it shows that I averaged 81 grams of protein per day, and that's with a 75 gram target. So yeah, that's just perfect. My fiber come in exactly at 40 grams a day. You know, that's my target, so it works. My sodium was 1,124 milligrams a day with a 1,200 target. Yeah, I'll take it. And my potassium came in at 4,877 on a 4,000 milligram target. Again, I mentioned earlier, I'm going to probably up that, probably go up to about 4,500. I'd been there at one point, and then brought it back to 4,000, but now I'm going to go back up, especially after seeing my blood work and seeing the potassium levels just a little bit lower than I liked. And we'll make it work, especially with those new electrolyte powders that I'm going to be drinking. That'll be a big time help. So with all that said, what did the scale say? Well, yeah, I went down 2 pounds. 2 pounds. I seem to be right around that 2 pound mark. I'd really be interested to see if I had a scale that would do, you know, tenths of a pound. Mine just does like flat, right? So you're either over it or you're not. So I'd really be curious if it's like 2.4 or if it's just barely 2. I don't know. I've got another one that would show me that data, but I'm not quite comfortable enough standing on it yet, so I haven't moved to it. I'm still weighing on the one that goes up to like 1,000 pounds because, well, I mean, I was never that high, but I was quite a ways up there, so I needed something that was well above a normal scale. And I'm just more comfortable standing on that platform versus the new one. So once I get comfortable on that new one, I'll move over to it, and that'll give me just a little more data. It'll show me those ounces versus just flat pounds. But for now, 2 pounds this week. That takes me from 370 down to 368. I'm quite happy with that, honestly. That gives me a grand total on Mounjaro of 192 pounds lost and a total weight loss of 227 pounds. Yeah, so the month of June, man, I think I mentioned it last week or the week before, just seemed to be flying by, and it did. I mean, it just gone. You know, it always does that, it seems like, but I can't complain. That's a grand total of 10 pounds lost. I mean, that's 10 pounds, right? 10 pounds lost in the month of June, as well as evidently 2 inches off my waist and 1.5 inches off my chest. Yeah, that seems like a damn good month to me. If I could do that regularly, I mean, just think about that. If I could lose 10 pounds a month on average, 1 year from right now, I would be down another 120 pounds. So I would weigh, what is that, 248 pounds? I don't see that happening, but I'm putting it out there just in case. And I promise you this, if I'm there, I'll go back and I'll pull this video and I'll add it to that week's video just because. Yeah, I'm a nerd like that. I absolutely love looking back on stuff, being able to reminisce. So we'll see what happens in a year, but I can't complain about this June. Again, 10 pounds, 2 inches off my waist, 1.5 inches off my chest. Yeah, it was a great month. So let's wrap it up right there. As always, I appreciate you coming by and watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.